Well, good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you're joining us from. Thanks for being here. This is the Papa Joe Show, where Papa Joe knows. I am your host, Papa Joe, and Merry Christmas to you all. So, today, I want to say thank you for being here. It means a lot to me. Appreciate it. Smash those likes, subscribe to the channel, help me grow the channel out. The more people in here that get this information, obviously, you all think it's very valuable information, and I personally do as well. So, I honestly, like I keep saying, I wouldn't be doing it if I didn't. So, good morning, and afternoon and evening, wherever you are joining us from. So, thank you for being here. If you're if you're live streaming on YouTube, TikTok, wherever you're popping in, do me a favor and comment in the on the video. And there's a live chat on YouTube. There's a live chat on TikTok. It looks like as well. So do me a favor and say hello and good morning and whatnot, just so I know who's there. Smash the likes, things like that. Yeah, and I don't know who's listening and paying attention. And got all these amazing people out there. All of you are amazing. Most of the people in the live chats I actually know personally because of going to different crypto related events. We have had, I have been to Bitcoin Ben's event. I've gone to several of his. I went to, what's his name? Mark Moss's event recently. Had some fun there. Get to meet a lot of really cool people there. Got to meet Breedlove and Pump and a couple other people. Obviously, Mark Moss himself. There was a couple other people that I spent some time with there as well. So people in the chat here get to meet at those types of events. So I do different events throughout the year. One of the ones I'm going to do early next year is going to be in January at Bitcoin Ben's Founders Group event. I'll be speaking there. Not entirely sure what I want to speak on just yet, but we will have a. Sorry, I'm looking at TikTok's giving me some weird stuff on the screen there, so my apologies. I actually have another stream running over here at the same time, so fun stuff. Anyways, I digress. So let's see what we got here. So I'll go ahead and pop in here. We've got Thomas. Good morning, and good morning from Ohio. Thanks for being here, sir. You are amazing, and I love having you guys in here. Diane, good morning. Kim, good morning. Lithia, good morning. Rick, good morning. George, good morning. Good afternoon. Excuse me. It is afternoon here on the East Coast. So, anyways, I just got back from the gym, so if I seem a little fried, I kind of am. I pushed it this morning because I didn't really have a whole lot of time. I'm not going to have time the rest of this week, obviously, to actually get in there and bust it out. So, trying to get back in shape. It's been a long time since I've been in the gym, and I growing up did a lot of lifting, things like that. I was a swimmer, so I had fun being. I'm not a very tall person, and being a swimmer, so I had to work out and build muscle and flexibility to actually keep up with the people who were like 2 feet taller than me. Not 2 feet, but you know what I mean. Tall swimmers typically are faster swimmers, but I found that if I was able to work out and stuff, I was actually able to keep up with them. So, anyways, little things make a big difference sometimes. You know what I mean? So today, we are going to kind of discuss a couple different topics. The theys in the world, if you will, are freaking out about Bitcoin, and they keep talking about stable coins because they can't touch Bitcoin. And I've talked about that past couple of days because it's becoming more and more apparent, and I'm actually really trying to pay attention to whether or not they are going to say anything about Bitcoin specifically, or Litecoin, or Ethereum, or any of the other altcoins, because I want to know if they're going to actually start trying to do regulation in any way around those types of cryptocurrencies, because all they keep talking about is stable coins. All they keep bringing up is stable coins. And because of that, we unfortunately, people's minds, they get tricked. It's a mind trick. They sit there and say, we'll call them the normies, if you will, people who are not necessarily into cryptocurrency, not necessarily paying attention to cryptocurrency, or more importantly, paying attention to blockchain technology, which is what cryptocurrency uses underneath the hood, if you will, to create this entire unstoppable ecosystem. And yes, it really is unstoppable. A lot of people, it can be hacked. No, It really can't be. Well, I don't want to say it can't be. It hasn't been done yet. Primarily because there's not a computer in the world that can do it. And a lot of people, what about quantum computing? Well, quantum computing is not a regular ones and zeros computing. Quantum computing is an entirely different realm of computing. And you'd have to reprogram the computer to be a regular computer to do the ones and zero processing in order for it to do anything with the blockchain, because it's like two different paradigms, entirely two different systems that are set up the way it's done. This is a little more technical, but when a processor does, or an ASIC does the processing of the transactions on a blockchain, those are done ones and zeros. It's literally the same process running really fast and doing first in first out on the processor. Most CPUs in a computer can do that, but they also have something called hyperthreading built in, which allows it to do 3 or 4 different processing at the same time. Graphics cards have something called floating point calculations, which means they can do a lot more processing at the same time because it is a randomized type of a process. Now, you go into quantum computing, it's like the floating point except on steroids, and then not even doing the ones and zeros type of stuff. But anyways, getting a little technical, I don't really do that a whole lot on the show here. But if you think about how blockchain is an unstoppable system, an unstoppable computer made up of thousands and millions of other little computers, you can't really turn that off. You can turn nodes off left and right all day long, but they're not going to, unless you turn every single one of them off, it's not going to stop. The thing is, though, is if you turn it back on, it's going to pick up where it left off. There's not really a way to just stop it. You can't kill it. It cannot die. It does not die, and it cannot die. A lot of people, it's going to be dead. You hear in the mainstream media all the time. It's dead. It's going to be dead. Bitcoin crashed. Crypto crashed. The price of this, that, and the other. People are losing their shirts. Well, they're losing their shirts because they're not paying attention. They're getting in at the wrong times. They're getting in when they see it on the news. Oh, it's running up, blah, 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 blah. Bitcoin hit this new all-time record, all-time high, blah, blah, blah. And people are like, oh, I need to get into that. No, you need to pay attention and get into it now. Again, and I say it on my shows, this is not financial advice, not tax advice, not legal advice. I am simply giving you years of experience and knowledge around this space because I have spent a lot of time in this space. I have more than 20 years experience in IT, and I've been in blockchain and cryptocurrency since late 2011. I'm one of the earlier people involved in this. I'm telling you, this is something that is going to fundamentally change how humanity in general processes every type of transaction. Everyone's like freaking out about NFTs, like, how do I get an NFT? What am I going to do with an NFT? Guys, do you realize that, guys and gals, do y'all realize that concert tickets are going to be NFTs soon? Football games, soccer games are going to be NFTs tickets. They're going to be NFTs. The tickets that go to those places are going to be NFTs. Do you understand that? Buying and selling homes is going to be an NFT. Buying and selling a car is going to be an NFT. I mean, crap. A stupid proof of purchase is going to be an NFT. And you may even very well, and I don't necessarily, there's a lot of reasons why okay, let me see here. People are probably going to end up with driver's license that are going to be NFTs. But I think, and from my perspective, that's technically, as an American, as a citizen, not a citizen, as an American, as a natural person, you technically don't need a driver's license. Under the First Amendment, you're allowed to travel unless you're doing commerce, at which point you would need a driver's license. And that's actually the law. The Constitution trumps all of the laws. So if there's a law that goes against or contradicts what the Constitution says, then that law is technically null and void. But again, not legal advice, not tax advice, and not financial advice. These are seeds and educational stuff, paths, streams you can go dig in and on your own. And let me tell you, it is crazy, crazy stuff. So anyways, so today I kind of wanted to talk about some interesting things. So I'm going to rearrange now that I kind of went through some of that stuff here and pop the stream up here. For those of you watching, unfortunately on TikTok, I've been trying to get TikTok to let me stream from my other streaming platform because I can stream from multiple locations in that place. And I can do all the backgrounds and show the articles and things like that. So I am live streaming on YouTube if you want to pop on over there and see what we're talking about in the articles I'm showing here. So crypto regulation is coming, but Bitcoin traders are still buying the dip. The premium on the CME Bitcoin futures dropped to 0, but the data shows pro traders are still bullish. That's because CME is for not for institutional. CME Bitcoin futures is for people in the stock market who have no idea what they're talking about, and they don't even realize there's an entirely separate market for the actual underlying assets of the cryptocurrency. Yeah, we're still buying. You know why we're still buying? And I covered this yesterday, just as an example. The Turkish lira is going to 0, and the people are taking that money and they're buying Bitcoin, and it's going up in the lira. Not covering yet anywhere. You know why? Because as soon as that happens, as soon as that comes out in any kind of media show, whatever, I'm covering it because the world needs to know it. Needs to realize that cryptocurrency, Bitcoin in general, is the exit strategy out of the fiat currency system because it is crashing. It is going to die. It is dying. And you need to be aware that is what's taking place. So yeah, we're still buying Bitcoin. Yeah, we're still going into this stuff. You look at the on-chain data, which I didn't have time because it just literally just came from the gym. Like I said, I didn't have time to pull any of it up. I was looking at it last night. The on-chain data, like it's insane. Like the buys, when you go buy, like say on Coinbase, you go buy like on Binance or Bitrue or KuCoin or something like that. It doesn't go as an on-chain transaction until you take it off the exchange. The amount of on-chain transactions is skyrocketing. People are buying crypto and they're pulling it off the exchanges. They are actually taking it into personal possession, like a bank. They're moving it into what they call unknown wallets. So they can't actually depict. They can't actually tell where the wallet is. Realistically speaking, if you are not on an online exchange, your crypto is more anonymous to what you're doing. Decentralized exchanges allow you to be more anonymous whenever you are exchanging between coins. Again, not financial advice. Do your own research. Anyways, in this article, and I'm kind of really Cointelegraph, they really need to stop pushing some of the FUD. They're starting to sound more and more like a mainstream media outlet. Traders are still afraid of stablecoin regulation. No, they're not. Got to realize this is blockchain. It's already a regulated system. Please take time and understand what that means. The initial corrective phase was quickly followed by relentless pressure from regulators and policymakers on stablecoin issues. You know why they're concerned about stablecoins? Because it's tied to the dollar, and it takes the dollar out of their hands and turns it digital, and it's not something they can control, and they don't control it, and they're very, very concerned about that, and rightfully so. Anyways, let's see here. First came Venex spot Bitcoin exchange traded fund rejection by the U.S. SEC on November 12th. The denial was directly related to views that Tether's stablecoin USDT was insolvent and concerns over Bitcoin's price manipulation. USDT, I don't really care. I'm more concerned about Bitcoin. Bitcoin's price is going to continue onwards wherever it's going to continue onwards. And there's one gentleman that we all have paid attention to. I pay attention to. I don't really. I think he's a little narrow-minded on cryptocurrencies in general and the technology in general, because he's just for Bitcoin. He's a Bitcoin maximalist, and that's Saylor. Although I can't say that I haven't personally talked to him, but he talks pretty much solely about Bitcoin. So it would, if I had to guess, he's a Bitcoin maximalist. He does not look at any of the other blockchain platforms or the other projects out there that actually have real world application and have a way for us to actually build residual income and wealth in our lives. But anyways, Bitcoin bull Michael Saylor reportedly owns about 866 million of the cryptocurrency Bitcoin and says the token is headed to $6 million. Now, I haven't had a second to go look at what the market cap of Bitcoin would be at $6 million. Last time I looked at $500,000, it was going to be like $4 to $6 trillion in market cap just for Bitcoin. That's a lot more than that. Yeah, I don't necessarily disagree with him on the long term, but I realistically sit here and look at $6 million and go, that's a hyperinflated environment. $6 million is a hyperinflated environment. It really is. MicroStrategies, Michael Saylor owns at least 17,732 Bitcoin. The information reported, that is his personal holdings apparently. That means his holdings are worth $866 million at Bitcoin's current price of around $48,000. Separately, his software analytics firm owns 122,478 Bitcoin and plans to keep adding to its stash. Good. That's amazing. That's fantastic. Here's the thing, though, folks. If he's a software analytics company, he should understand and know that blockchain technology is what the entire net new version of everything is going to be built upon. Yesterday evening, I forget which one asked the question or said the statement. It was either Musk or it was Jack Dorsey. I don't remember. And I responded to both of them because it was about Web3. They're like, who wears Web3? It's this invisible da 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 da. It's owned by whatever. I don't remember what the specific topic was. And it was said in almost like a joking way. I was like, please tell me this is satire because Web3 is a blockchain DNS/web. It's DNS and webs on a blockchain. Granted, I get it that underneath that is the core of the internet, and it's still controlled by the central DNS related places, but that can be removed if blockchain technology is set up as the backbone. Let's see. Yes, Busy Mountain is a good point. Michael Saylor knows that the powers that be push Bitcoin. Now, yes and no. They don't yet, but they will in the future. They're trying to get themselves set up with their CBDCs, their central bank digital currencies. And they're going to try and coerce the population of the world to use their CBDCs. At the end of the day, no one's going to. Just like we saw just a second ago that even though the crypto regulation, Bitcoin traders are still buying the dip. They're still buying the dip, but they're not buying it on the stupid stock exchanges or the CME or wherever else they're buying the futures. They're buying the actual assets. And it's confusing them. They're like, wait, people are still doing it? Yeah, we're still doing it. Pay attention. Inflation is huge. Cryptocurrency is a way out. Cryptocurrencies is one of several places to take care of yourself. There's a big brash. I can't talk today. There is a big crash coming according to Treasury Yields. So those of you who know, like from the actual stock market side of things, I'm not as versed in that, but I do know some of the trigger points, some of the things to pay attention to, and Treasury Yields is a big thing to kind of pay attention to. Basically, if inflation's going up and the Treasury Yields are going up at the same time or about the same pace, then it's a good, healthy market. If they're inverse of each other, so if inflation's going up and the Treasury yields are going down, the market is on its way to crashing. We're talking recession or even depression. So here is a very fun chart to pay attention to, and you'll see that, maybe not. So the 10-year Treasury yield is in purple, and the US PCE, or what is PCE? It's let's forget what. I think that's the well, you know what? Personal consumption expenditures. So I guess that's inflation. Not I guess. Okay, yeah, that is the inflation. So that's the inflation marker they're looking at. And it is up 5.05%, while the Treasury yields are at 1.47%, and they're going opposite of each other. So that it typically, historically, means that I'll actually read this here. I think it says it really well. However, today we're seeing a very interesting phenomenon unseen in modern times. Inflation, as measured by the PCE, or personal consumption expenditures, is running well above the 10-year Treasury yields, resulting in significant negative real yields. Okay, so you're actually getting a negative yield when the inflation's that's just so you understand. If they're together, fine. If they're opposite, you're literally losing money on that treasury. That's what I keep saying. Cryptocurrency is your way out. Take a look at this chart since the year 1990. For the past 31 years. It's a long time. Long time. Let's see. They kind of, well, except for right here, I don't know what the heck happened. I guess in 2010, I don't remember what happened in 2010. But you kind of get closer together, and then down here in 2020, they crossed. That's not good. Well, inflation is so high and persistent that even Jay Powell stopped using the word transitory, yet the 10-year Treasury yield is about 1.5%. So let me get this straight. In the stock market, and they want to keep people's money in the stock market, and they're going to say, you go buy this 10-year Treasury bond, it's a bond, we'll give you a 1.5% of your money back after 10 years. It's your money plus 1.5%. In cryptocurrency, what's Bitcoin up so far this year? Where do I find that? Let me pop back out here so I don't. Let's see here. Let's see if I can actually pull that appropriately and get the right stuff here. Let's see if this is going to give me the right thing. Nope, that is not what I wanted to see. It's a lot. If you guys can pull it up real quick in the chat and tell me real quick, that would be amazing. No need to do it if you don't want to. You don't have the time to. So over the year, let's see if this will change. Okay, your returns year to date. Yeah, so I mean, actually, here we go. I found one. Let's pop this over here, pop it back open. So returns year to date is 68%. So let's go. Let's see if it'll change. No, it will not change. I want to see the overall. How do I see the overall? Coin market cap. Let's look at Bitcoin. Let's see if their analytics. Nope, that's not what I want to see. Where is it? Price estimates. No. Whatever. It's up a lot. My point is that with cryptocurrency, you are actually literally making a tremendous amount of money for a long time. I will never forget. Or maybe it's done here. Show more. All-time low? No, that's not the all-time low. Whatever. Okay, so from the past 8 years, I'm showing this again. For those of you on TikTok, I'm live streaming on YouTube as well. Let me blow this up for them to see. Wow, that went too far. So the Bitcoin ROI is at 35,991%. Since its low 8 years ago, it's not the low. I mean, I was mining it when it was under $1. It was at 70. They're saying in the past 8 years, if you had bought at $65, you would have made about 75,000 or 74,250%. That's not even 10 years. It's 8 years. So they're telling you, by the way, over here, that you can have 1.5% plus your money back. That doesn't add up. Sorry, crypto all the way, baby. It is going to be something. I mean, seriously, wow. It's all-time high, $68,000, and it's 30% off of that. If you were one of the earlier folks here, who you don't care. You're just riding the wave. Even if you got in at 2017 at $20,000, you're not going to care. It's insanely just putting it into perspective for you folks. Anyways, so paying attention back here real quick to the yields, just so you understand, when they go invert of each other, when they inverse each other, then we're going into a recession. And if it continues to go in those directions, or if it's a very big separation, like that is actually technically a big separation. If the actual inflation goes up that much, we're heading for a massive, massive, massive correction in the stock market, and people are going to lose massive amounts of money. Please pay attention. Manny. Wow. What's this? $120 in Matic in July 2021, now worth $240. Well, that's 100%. Yeah, last December. Yeah. So if you bought Matic, so just as an example, we're going to talk about Matic in a second here. If you bought Matic in July this year, it's up 100% already. That's just something to pay attention to. Matic is one of my more favorite coins because you can really earn some staking value in that as well. So, Rich Dad Poor Dad, author, issues dire warning on inflation, says he's buying Bitcoin, Ethereum, and 2 additional assets. Those 2 additional assets are actually more than 2 additional assets. He is, excuse me, I am buying more gold, silver, Bitcoin, Ethereum, rental real estate, and oil. And asks, what are you buying? I'm asking the same question. What are you buying? I'm buying crypto. Divi, Matic, Axie Infinity. I am buying assets that he isn't aware of yet, which, by the way, Robert Kiyosaki, if you would, I would love to have you on the show and have a conversation about residual income, but with cryptocurrency. See, I have found a way to actually make residual income to the tune of well above even what you're making on a regular rental property without having to pay for the rental property. Or not pay for the rental property, but without having to maintain the rental property, have insurance on the rental property, things like that. It just cranks and runs. So would love to talk to you if you ever get a chance, or if I ever hear you, get to meet you. That would be actually a lot of fun. That would be a lot of fun. Anyways, so this guy's not usually wrong. Inflation's the problem. He's actually putting out here. Dollar Tree becomes a $1.25 tree. Inflation is a tax on the poor and middle class. Inflation makes the rich richer. It really does. It really does. So, Polygon, a necessary gem in the cryptoverse. I told you I was going to talk about Polygon. Touching it real quick here. Polygon's rebrand in 2021 expands their use case by a wide margin. Okay, what Polygon did this year by rebranding themselves is they were going to initially be just a one-dimensional layer 2 scaling solution for Ethereum, which they still are. But the transition to 2.0 will actually not render Polygon obsolete. The reason I've actually been asked that recently. The reason being is because Polygon actually set up their own ecosystem. They set up their own Matic token. They set up their own blockchain, and it does amazing things. So this article actually gives you an overview of what Matic Polygon really is, what they've done, what they're doing, what they're going to be doing. They just stood up their own DEX, guys, gals. They just stood up their own NFT platform. They've actually had the NFT stuff. I remember when they launched, and in their wallet, there was this section called NFT, and I was like, what in the world is that? What is NFT? And then they were one of the first that I saw out there having anything to do with an NFT. And I've never understood what it was. And then all of a sudden, NFT becomes this big, huge, massive thing, and I'm like, oh, Polygon, cool. My stupid screen is flickering and it's giving me a headache. Sorry. Where was the other thing I was gonna kind of talk about here? So, they don't really have very many competitions out there, so Polygon has to compete with the likes of other layer ones that have taken it upon themselves to address the scalability problem before launching in full, and thus have no low throughput problem bugging their users, such as Cardano, Solana, and Polkadot, all of which can process more transactions than Ethereum as of now. Polkadot is another ecosystem that deploys parachains and parachain slots, very much like Polygon's sidechains. Okay, just be aware that Polygon is solving the problem for all the rest of the other coins out there. Granted, Cardano, Solana, and Polkadot did solve those problems before they launched for themselves. Okay, Polygon is doing it for everybody else, which is a lot more. There's 15,000 coins out there, and the majority of them are built on Ethereum. Now, Binance coins got more, Polkadot's got some, Cardano's got some, Solana's got some. Polkadot is the internet, the underlying lifeblood for blockchains. Pay attention to it. I'm telling you, not financial advice, but please do your research. Just a little bit of some fun here for you folks. Polygon, I think, is number 14 in market cap. Look at that. Amazing. It's up today almost 10%. We're on its way to 10%. For the week, 26%, almost 27%. It's got a bigger market cap than Binance, BSD, whatever Binance coin is. Not the actual Binance coin, excuse me, their stable coin. It's right under Shiba. That is interesting. Shiba's up 11.5% or so today. Very, very interesting. Let's see. What was the other one I was going to look for? Let's see. What is Divi at? Y'all need to pay attention to Divi. If you're not paying attention to Divi, you really need to pay attention to Divi. They just partnered with La Liga. La Liga is one of the largest soccer here in the U.S. Leagues in the world. They will be on all the jerseys, the logos. They will be all over the stadiums. They will be... That'd be cool if they're on the soccer ball, too. I don't know about that one. That'd be cool. They will be how people can buy merch. Imagine in the stadium and on the TV when people watching. Download the Divi wallet, the Divi app. Buy some Divi and use it to get a 10% or 20% discount on your jersey t-shirt that you want to buy. Or for a chance to win season tickets. Or blah, 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 whatever. They have 1 billion eyeballs, guys. 1 billion people. That's a big partnership. That's a big deal. They have more eyeballs than the U.S. football, baseball, and basketball combined. Just to put it into perspective, that's a big deal. And they're really, really big on humanitarian stuff and making it so that they can take the unbanked and make it very easy for them to become banked. Pay attention to Divi. Anyways, I'm going to go ahead and cut it there, folks. I am late for another meeting, so I do apologize for the quick shut here. What's today? I should have a show at 4:30, my Patreon show. It's scrolling across the bottom of the screen. on YouTube, Twitter, and Facebook, and is linked in the description of the video. Join that. It's $5 a month. It's where I get to have an unfiltered conversation with you guys. I have to be very careful with what I say out here on the regular live type of environment because I will get shut down. So in the Patreon, I actually take time to discuss sometimes I'll discuss different projects. I went over how to build residual income with your cryptos. I've talked about the cookies that we're all being told we have to eat, and the hunger disease that it's supposedly fixing. Things like that. We have conversations about really interesting stuff that I just can't talk about out here. So if you're interested, I will also probably do different interviews and things like that once I get the channel big enough to do that. And we'll have conversations on the Patreon. So it's $5 a month. Join, go watch some of the videos. If you don't like it, cool. You don't got to stand. I don't care. Whatever. It doesn't matter to me. If you don't want to be there, I don't want, that makes sense. But if you like this type of content, imagine that, but a lot more without having to be concerned about what I say. Let's put it that way. So anyways, we're going to go ahead and cut it there. You guys have a wonderful and blessed day, and we'll see you guys at 4:30 Eastern. Bye-bye.